Coach Allman said it best: "Get the GoDaddies the football." No, 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 no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's serious. Coach Allman. He was always saying that, "Hey, just get them to Friday nights." And Coach Faircloth, our offense coordinator, when I played, was all about we got to find GoDaddies, got to get GoDaddies of football.
What's up, squad? Welcome back to another
What's
episode
up?
of the Permian Basin Playbook. I'm your host, K-Ball. Holding it down with me is my full crew: Sergio, Busta, Chavo, and Joe, all board members of the 33 Lead organization, with Joe being our founder. This week, we've got one that hits home. Our guest isn't just coaching in West Texas, he is West Texas football. He was an all
Dang.
he was an all district, all region, all area quarterback at Odessa Permian, leading the Panthers to their first playoff appearance since 1998. He left Mojo as the career passing leader with over 3,200 yards before playing at UNM and UTEP, where he learned the game from a whole new perspective. Now he's coming full circle, y'all, calling plays on the same field where he once led game-winning drives. Please help me welcome Permian offensive coordinator, Coach Tate Smith. Coach, welcome to the Permian Basin Playbook.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on board, man. It's a pleasure. Getting to be on the 33 lead committee, guys. Getting to talk to you guys, and a guy that's the founder of this thing. He coached my brother at Permian when back in the day, and got to chop it up with him. And then now, obviously, I get a chance to coach with his brother as our head basketball coach. So it's kind of gone full circle. So really cool.
Heck yeah. Shout out to Coach Flores for linking us up today. We had a little trouble with some emails and phone calls, but we love adversity on the Permian Basin Playbook, and we answer that call. But
Yeah,
Coach, we are going to start our first segment. We're first and 10, and our founder requested that he got the ball first to pass it over to you. So, Joe Flores, we're first and 10 with
I
Coach
was
Smith.
well. The first thing I'm gonna say is, Tate, you were late, and so you know that that's not acceptable. And so let's start all over, man. No, but like I was telling these guys. I told Keith earlier how much I loved you, man. A lot of people don't know back when I was coaching there at Odessa Permian, man, you'd spend a lot of time over there with us, man. So I used to tell people back when Tate used to come see us in spring football, I used to tell people how much he just loved football, and I still do. That guy loves football, man. So it's a pleasure always talking to Tate, even, on here, but really just in person, just hanging out. Uh, Tate, I saw y'all play on Friday. I had been to a game all year, and so you guys look good Friday. And I actually talked to Skyler a little bit. I saw him down there at the snack bar, so I thought that was all cool and stuff. But I do have a question, so and you're a perfect one to ask on this, man. And so it's kind of a two-parter, all right? So you do the class that you played with and before kind of understood what Odessa Permian is all about, right? And sometimes that you wonder if the kids nowadays really know who they're playing with. So, with that being said, how did you feel as a Permian Panther back when you played, growing up, looking to play for the Permian Panthers? And then two, do the kids know really what program they're playing for?
I think the first part to that question is I was blessed. I had two cousins that played at Permian. Um, Both won state championships on the 89 and 91 team. Obviously, Stoney was on the 89 team, won a national championship, the only national championship at Permian. And then Stormy, his brother, they both went 16 and 0, had great careers as quarterbacks at the high school, but then also at college level, one going to the University of New Mexico and playing in the NFL, and then his brother going to Texas A&M, and was the only captain under R.C. Slocum at the time that as a non-starter and as a freshman was his captain because his GPA was the highest on the team. So Coach Slocum really trusted in him. But being able to have parents and have family members that understood, hey, what did you want to do growing up? And that was play football. That took me to the games, getting to watch guys, and then also the guys that I played with. their parents played at Permian or had uncles and cousins and stuff that played at Permian. So we really understood what Permian was about. And, the guy that I played with, LeVoric Williams, his cousin was Roy Williams and Lloyd Hill. So that helps out, you had guys like Robert Murray, who I played with, who played defensive back and running back, whose brothers played at Permian before them on the 98 team. And as the years go on, he had a ton of brothers. So Chris Murray, who ended up later on coaching at Permian as a freshman coach, then moving up in the ranks. So a lot of the guys that I played with understood the history and the tradition of Permian because we grew up in the town in Odessa and had family members who played here. Mm-hmm. The second part to that is now the team that we have has a lot of kids that sometimes aren't from Odessa, right? Mm-hmm. But we still have just enough, like our backup quarterback, dad, mom, they both went to Permian. We have a lot of those kids starting to come back. So I think that's really we're starting to see that they understand Permian. But as coaches, we have to teach them, hey, these are the traditions. This is what's going on. And this is why we're doing it. And, a lot of the fans see what we've kind of done. We've kind of gone back to the Permian tradition of wearing the black on black, the white on black, but then also wearing the white on white, which Coach, we wore when under Coach Allman. He brought that back that they wore back in the 50s and 60s. And then last Friday night, we brought back the old tradition from the 70s and 80s where when it's a big game, you put the silver pants on and you wear white on silver on the road. And big game means that, hey, you got a chance to do something that hadn't been done at Permian in a long time. So teaching those guys not only those traditions, but the other traditions. And there's several that they don't know about, which is Stomp Tuesday, where you get in the gym and everything in the morning practice was in the gym. And there's some other things as well, but teaching them what the sign means. Why do people still come to Permian High School and take a picture of that sign? It's because of the tradition and the legacy from the men that played at Permian before us. And what legacy are you going to leave? So when people come back and look at that sign and go look through that hallway of the Hall of Champions, what's your legacy going to be? So I think it's, to answer your question, Coach, there's two parts to it. Like you said, is where we were back then and where we are now is two totally different ends of the spectrum. But it's bringing those guys together to understand the legacy and how are we going to build it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Coach, we were looking at a lot of your history, and obviously you had a storied career, as a player, and then as a coach as well too. I know that you were a head coach in arena football for a while before getting back into the high school ranks. But you take all that career and what you've learned as far as like scheme and pass calling or pass plays, all this stuff, play calling, I should say, sorry. But how do you manage to keep that kind of old school Mojo culture, but at the same time evolve with the modern game that we see today?
It's easy. Coach Allman said it best: "Get the GoDaddies the football." No. Yeah, that's serious. Coach Allman. He was always saying that, hey, just get them to Friday nights. And Coach Faircloth, our offense coordinator when I played, was all about we got to find GoDaddies, got to get GoDaddies the football. And when I came in and was talking with Coach Elson, I originally wanted to learn, what they were doing, how he was, not just the X's and O's of stuff that they were doing, but what was going on in the offseason part of stuff. How come Permian, what were they doing that was successful? Because they still were successful. Obviously we weren't getting past the second round. And that's been a big concern of mine since I've been back is we've got to get it to playing on Thanksgiving and playing in December football like it used to be. And, I was blessed to be the quarterback that kind of brought us back. My brother played after me, and those guys, Taylor Bird and Trevor Adams, and those guys that played after me had great careers at Permian. And I think our team kind of set the standard, and it's kind of been that way ever since because Permian really hasn't missed the playoffs but a few times since that 06 season. Now the deal is that, okay, we've kind of come stagnant. How do we get to the point where we get over the hump? We got to figure out that way. And with Coach Allman, it was how do you get over the third round hump? Right now we're stuck at the second round hump. We got to get over that. So, play calling, though, for me is I'm constantly studying plays. And there's stuff that you look at, and it's funny because my brother and those guys that I played with, they'll call the plays that we ran back when we were at Permian back then because it's the same stuff. I might be doing it a different way. Same play concept and everything that we were doing back then. But I've taken stuff from everywhere I've been. When I was at New Mexico, taking stuff from Dave Baldwin's playbook, who was at Michigan State and was at Toledo, and he was most recently at Colorado State and Oregon State, taking his stuff and then taking stuff from Mike Price and what they did. Because obviously Mike Price was one of the founders of the Nike Elite 11. And so how he played, called plays and got quarterbacks to make plays really intrigued me on, okay, how do I get our guys to do that same stuff? And then, learning as you go. Obviously, when you're a young coach, you think that you know everything, and I'm still young, guys. Don't get it twisted when I say that.
It's still this time, y'all.
But young coaches come into this profession and think they know everything, like they're going to change the game of football. It's not. The kids are what makes the change. So you as a play caller, you have to change how you call plays based on who you have around you. And if you don't have receivers, okay, you got to figure out a way to run the football. If you got good receivers, okay, how can I manipulate that to get the ball to the fast guys outside? If you've got both, like we do right now, I'm blessed because we got guys who can run the football and guys who can catch it and a guy who can throw it. So I'm really blessed right now as a play caller that I get to do kind of whatever I want, and whatever the defense is giving us, we can take advantage of. So, it's a constantly, you got to keep studying the game, keep figuring out, hey, what are defenses doing to you? Where's the game moving? And how can you make your team better off your personnel?
Yeah. Sounds like a lot of late nights up on the iPad, just scrolling back and forth.
Sometimes, and what's really cool out of all the places that I've been at Odessa High, 2 stops, been in Midland Greenwood, been in Ballinger, even went down south with Coach Escobar for a season. But coming back here, Coach Elson does a really great job, and I'm thankful for this, is allowing me and our offensive staff to go find a college or colleges and us go visit them. And I know that, when Joe was there, you guys went to Florida, you guys got to go places, and other places that I've been, you can't go anywhere. Just the funds aren't there. At Permian, we have the resources where, okay, hey, you know what? We need to go to Carolina and go talk to whoever. They'll pay for our flight. We go talk to who we need to, and that's been really, really nice. Last off season, we were able to go to Houston and go talk to those guys down there. But then we also got to go talk to was North Shore, which kind of changed our thought process of how do we practice and how do we get our guys to stay, one, locked in practice, and two, how do we shorten practice? Because kids today, they're not used to the old school way of doing stuff. Let's be honest. You can't have that 2-hour practice, 2.5-hour practice now. You got to cut practice back, but how do you get practice where it's full speed, get the work you need in? And we went down and visited with the North Shore staff, and they kind of gave us a couple things, and we've taken it from them, and we've really made it, kind of a standard this year. Like, we're going to follow this, and let's see how it works. And it's worked really well for us so far. And hopefully we keep moving in that same direction. So a lot of good stuff, being able to go learn from different high schools, go learn from different colleges, come back and let's collaborate as a coaching staff to see what fits us. Take it, if it doesn't work for us, put it in that bank because you never know when you're going to need it again. So it's been really good.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna kind of double down on that. I know that Coach Allman, you were talking about him, and he would say that a whole lot. He would emphasize every year that he wanted players and coaches to be energized. By the time the playoffs come, he wanted us to be excited about the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're grinding hours every day, all day, these kids are out there 3 hours a day. Man, I'll tell you what, it turns into a long, long season. And even though you're getting the playoffs, it's a long season. And so, Coach Allman's always did a great job of, we took a lot of the mental reps. And I think that's a lot of things that high schools don't do. We took a lot of mental reps. And, Coach Smith knows this, a lot of board work and film in the morning, a lot of board work and film at lunch. And then we go practice and then board work again. We ran plays not only on the field, but off the field every day, all day. And so they got a lot of reps. And so I remember him cutting down practices. Sometimes it'd be an hour long, but it was up tempo. It was quick, our practices looked like a basketball practice. And
Mm.
we had kids running around everywhere for an hour. And, it's kind of hectic, but kind of fun. It was quick. We got over and got a ton of reps. And also got a lot of reps that morning, and so there's a lot of creative ways to keep kids healthy, and still excited for the playoffs. Sorry to continue on that, but to double down on you, Coach. I'm sorry.
No, all
That's
good.
pretty
No, you're
cool.
right 100%. That's the key is how do you keep your athletes healthy? How do you also get them reps? It's a pretty cool deal that I've been sharing with our guys this year. I saw a link from Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. They were talking. They were doing a talk, and I can't remember what college they were talking to, but they said what you see on film is what your eyes are going to see on game day. And
Mm.
so basically, that's that mental rep that coach is talking about. When we're watching film and then we're showing the tape from practice and we're showing it live from previous games, it's the mental reps that we keep seeing. And I think that that's really a big credit to what we've kind of done. And what Coach Elson's allowed us to do is go back to the ways like Joe's sitting there saying, is now our kids are seeing it, we're walking through it, we're doing it, and then we're seeing it again. So it's a lot, like you said, a lot of mental reps. And man, it's we've definitely seen a difference this year, both offense and defensively, than we have the previous 4 years that I've been here.
Mhm.
Awesome, man. Love that. Serge, you're up, man.
Hey, Coach, appreciate your time. One of the questions that I had for you, and like I said, I've known you several years now, and even back when I was at Permian, one thing that we would have conversations about quarterback play and offenses and things like that when you're at OHS. The question I'm going to ask you is, how has the transition been? Like I said, I was at the Permian when I was at the Permian staff. We ran a lot of the veer game. You know what I mean? Those option, a lot of stuff. And I know once you got to Permian, you guys were still doing that a little bit. Can you talk to us a little bit about the transition over the years and where you guys are now? What steps did you guys take as a staff? You as a coordinator, as a play caller. What tell us what transpired there?
The main thing, Coach, is that every time that we looked, we had, you got a guy like Jay Rich when I came over, really good athlete, right? And you got Tavari and you had Rodney and you got all these guys that are now in a condensed space, right? And then now we're running the veer and the motion, the dive, the offensive line, everything's going the same direction. And so now you've got, instead of you having an advantage of spreading people out, now everything's balled up in one spot. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that there's a lot of guys that, if I was at a place that didn't have athletes, I think the veer's the place to do it, because now you can sit there and they got to play disciplined football. But where we've gone is we've talked to guys like Bob DeBess, who was at New Mexico, still runs the option and still runs the triple, but it's off the zone and it's out of spread. And, really talking with Bob after he retired and him, meeting with him and understanding, okay, how do you take the veer in the midline and turn it into a zone read team that you're able to get in doubles and trips and all these different formations and make, the presentation look the same and the continuity of the offense is the same, but it's eye candy. How do you get the guys to move and everything a different way? And then after that, it was, we were blessed to go to Liberty and go talk to the guys who were at, Coastal Carolina and everywhere else, which they're running the veer, they're running midline, but they're doing it from spread formations. And then now we've taken it a step further, and we're blessed to have Coach Gatewood, who's now at Texas as a assistant offensive line coach, and talking with their staff and understanding the RPO game and understanding how they use motions and formations. That is basically triple option football, which if you go back to our Browse stuff, right? He's a triple option guy, but they're using passing game and motions to look like triple, but that's how we're doing it now. So really just, as football evolves, using all those different resources to help us out. So where, now we can move, we're still running zone read. Sometimes we still run zone read options. Sometimes we still run the midline, depending on what you give us, but it's a little different. And then, now it's also modernized where we can spread you out and run the modern stuff too. So we've just kind of evolved over time, but kept it simple where our quarterbacks from the lower level and the freshman level to the high school, it's all the same plays coming in at you. It's just our presentation may be different.
And it helps when you got Gavin Black. You can just hand him the football. You don't even have to think a whole lot.
Yeah, and
you don't really have to get scheming. You can just hand him the football, right?
Well, I would like to say that, but therefore, last year he rushed for a lot of yards, but it was hard at times to run the ball because everybody packed in there.
Yeah.
We didn't have the receivers, out wide, and we're still trying to figure this thing out as moving forward. This is kind of the third year that we've been in this, and so now that after we've kind of talked with different guys and understand, it's made it easier to really throw the ball. But then, like last Friday night, how Lee was playing us and how they're defending us, because of what Gavin did the year before for the first 6 games for us, has been easy to throw the ball. Well, now people are worried about us throwing the ball. Well, you forget 18's back there in the backfield, who was, in my opinion, the best running back in the district and the best running back out in West Texas. So now we can hand him the football, and now he can show that he still can have those 300-yard nights. So that kind of allows – that's where the triple comes into play, where, okay, you still got to worry about 18, but we've also got cats out wide who can go run and catch the ball. So
so does he know why he's wearing 18? Talking about traditions.
He does now,
Okay, good. I don't know if he knew that or not.
People ask, we used to not have single digits either. It used to only start at 10, but some people don't know that either. So
yeah, that's right.
Well, Coach, I'm loving you guys, watching you guys play. I love how you guys are getting it to different people, different guys. Like I said, just talking to everybody, I'm glad that you guys are having a lot of success, and I'm glad now that every time I talk to friends of mine, they're like, "Well, that Permian offense is so boring." I keep telling them it's not the same anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's anyway, it's been fun to watch. Like I said, just watching you guys slinging around a little bit, watch Jacob slinging around. I know I've been around him a lot last few years, but obviously great kid. You got great kids around you. You're doing a great job. So keep it up, man.
I appreciate it, man. And there's a lot of things that people take for granted. And when you got a quarterback who's played for you for 3 years, it makes it real easy to do what you want to do, But the other thing that Jacob also has done is now Caden, our backup, and then even our freshman quarterback, like Jacob's teaching those guys, like, hey, this is what we're trying to do. This is how we're trying to do it. This is why it's getting called, and then teaching them. So now he's another coach that we have that we haven't had when I first got there. Because if you would ask Rodney, like, hey, what are we doing? He couldn't tell you. He was just an athlete playing, So I'm blessed to have Jacob, a student of the game that wants to be successful, and teaching those younger guys, like, hey, here's the path on how to do it. And so it kind of, Coach, Joe, it kind of reminds me of kind of how it was when I was there. Teach Taylor taught Trevor, and then it went down the line. So hopefully that's something that we're building at Permian, and we can keep moving on and moving in the right direction.
Very cool. Yeah. So, Coach, I have to ask, there's a lot of moving parts. It sounds very intense. So I have to ask you, if we were to mic you up in a game, are we getting calm, cool, collective Tate Smith, or are we getting fired up Mojo energy Tate Smith?
Well, it's kind of funny. If I was at practice, you would get high energy. But in the box, I'm pretty calm for the most part. Now, every once in a while, it may get a little intense, but in the box, for me, what I keep telling the guys, and I've said this for a long time, and really it holds true. Mike Price used to say it, and then Coach Woolman used to say it all the time. You got to be cool, calm, and collected. You want our guys. You've given them every tool in their toolbox they need for Friday night to be successful. So if you're getting upset with how they're performing, the person who needs to be upset and who you need to point the finger at is you as a coach, because you didn't give them those tools to be successful. And so, if you're getting upset and all that, and you're losing your head, how can you call a good game or make the right state of mind to make the right decision when the game's on the line? And luckily, I've been blessed and thrown in the fire for several times now that, and I've shown that, hey, I can be cool, calm, collected when the game's on the line as we're going down, getting ready to score. We've had multiple game-winning drives now. We've had multiple 22, plus play drives. And so I've been blessed, but it goes credit to not just me as a play caller, but my assistants around me. I've been blessed now to have the same basically core guys for 3 years under this offense. So it makes it nice because those guys know what we want. They know me, I know them, and everybody's on the same page, and we consistently work those drills, exactly, okay, hey, like last week, here's what we want to do. We know when we get down there, we want to run the football. As time runs out, call timeout, kick a game-winning field goal if we have the time. And so stuff like that, we practice every week. As a matter of fact, we wrote the script earlier this morning, or this afternoon, I should say, for tomorrow morning's practice. And guess what? That same situation from Friday night where we're driving the ball down the field and we got to run out clock. It's in the script, and it's been that way now for 3 years that I've been the offense coordinator. And so stuff like that we haven't done in the past that we do work now, and just the scenarios that you work throughout on a Wednesday to get ready for Hay in the Barn. And those guys have bought into that system now. Sergio, you know this too, man, that, used to under Coach Feld, I heard y'all ran like 100-something plus plays on Wednesday. It was crazy.
Perfect plays, by the way.
Yeah.
And we start the script over if you got the play wrong, if the kids mess up.
Exactly. So what is that doing really for the guys? Other than it being a perfect play, you're not really teaching the game. How can we teach those guys a game? Okay, when we're backed up, what is the scenario? Okay, we're in the middle of the field. It's second down or first down. Can we take the shot play? And so we're constantly telling those guys, getting them looking at the chain, see what the down and distance is, so where they know what we're thinking. So we're on game day. It makes it easy for you as a coach, and all you have to worry about is the X's and O's on Friday night.
Getting them boys ready. I love the accountability, man. I love it that you're willing to look that guy in the mirror before you start pointing your fingers at somebody else. That says a lot, and I think it's kids are going to know about that for sure. So I love that.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Self-reflection is not easy.
It goes back to this too, and I'll go back to a year ago. We're facing Midland High. And we got the ball at the end of the game, and we're right down there for prime. What we wanted, right? Take the drive, ran out the clock. It's a great game. They're a really good football team last year. Coach Fortune did a great job with those guys, and it was a bend but don't break. We're driving the ball, and I made the decision. I told Coach, I said, do we want to go to overtime or do we want to go for the kill? And meaning the kill, go for a touchdown play. Everybody on the headset was on the same page. We want to go score a touchdown. They played a great defense. They ended up playing an old school cover 7 down there where it's 7 guys all the way across the board. They had the right play call. Our guys didn't make it. We lose the ball game. And we constantly talk about that all the time that, hey, guys, it may not work out exactly how we have drawn up on a Wednesday or ever. But you got to keep working those situations so the next time it happens, you remember it, and then now you can overcome. So, and like I told them that night, there's nobody to blame but me because I was the one who made the play call. Everybody trusted me, and it was me. I told them that Friday night, and I told them again Saturday morning in the meeting before we went and played Eastlake in the bi-district title game. And that's where it starts is you as a coach got to sit there and say, you know what, hey, I screwed up. Don't take all the credit when the credit's good, but you also got to take the credit when it's bad too. And so when they see that as a coach, you do that, they'll also play for you 10 times, harder. You guys that coach know this, that if you take credit for it, the good and the bad, they're going to have your back when it comes time. So
heck yeah,
that's what's up.
Coach, so as a coach, you're tasked with really two major projects. You've got to create good football players, but you also got to create good young men, right? So what are some of the biggest lessons that you've taught your players about life beyond football?
I think, it's kind of funny. I see Jacob just popped up on here right now. So we talk about life all the time. There's more than the game of football. And there's a big thing that I say to them right now, playing football, if you cheat the game will cheat you. Well, that also goes true in the game of life. If you cheat the game of life, then the game's going to cheat you. So we're constantly talking about that. And we all, me and our quarterbacks, we have these conversations all the time. How's things going at home? How's schoolwork? How's all that going? How can we get ready to build you for a better future? Because, at some point the game of football is going to be gone. Where do you want to be? And so for us, it's a nonstop all the time. We're constantly teaching. And sometimes we sound like a broken record because they hear us over and over again, but we're really doing that so where they better themselves later on in life.
Heck yeah, man. That's great. You can definitely feel the pride in the organization from you guys. And it's something awesome to see you guys that, been clicking this year. It's been really great to witness from a fan point of view. All right, Coach, give us the state of Mojo football right now. What are the areas you guys are trying to sharpen up on? How's it look for the remainder of the season?
We've been really blessed with how the season's gone, and where we're at. In non-district play, we were 4-1. Had the one hiccup early on in the year, but I think that was a lot of learning curves from a lot of young guys who we had playing in some spots. We played at one time on the field. We potentially had 4 sophomores on the field, so we were really young in some spots, and it made it tough. But we've learned from those mistakes, and we've grown over the course of the year. Found a way to win some ball games in some tight spots, and facing all the way up until the last game of the non-district, Cajon, who's a really, really good football team, who's way better than we thought. They were very talented, and they'd give a lot of teams in our district a run for their money. So we answered the call there, and then coming out, obviously beating the team across town is always huge when you beat your crosstown rival, and then facing Central, who for whatever reason plays us tough all the time at home or on the road. It was that way when I played here. It's been that way for a long time. Those guys get so fired up to beat Permian and to play Permian. It's their game, and knocking them off was huge. And then obviously, beating the big rival Lee last week is huge for our guys, because now you hold the tiebreaker over those guys for the number 1 seed in big school. And now we got a chance to play for a district title this week. You win, you're 4-0 in district play, and then now you're in the driver's seat going into the playoffs, and right where we want to be. So on the standing part, that's where we're at. But then there's some other great stuff going on in our offensive side of the ball. Is that we've got a running back who last year is now the all-time leading rusher. He's on a chance to break some more records this season if he does what he's supposed to. And our quarterback now is the all-time leading passer in Permian history. Also holds the record for most touchdown passes by a quarterback. So there's a lot of things that he's doing as well that is some really good stuff. We broke some other records along the way that people don't know about, that a passing quarterback with over 250 yards and a rusher for over 200 yards or something like that in a single game. So there's a lot of different little side notes that Permian keeps in their record books that these guys are breaking, and that's a testament to them and the work that they put in this offseason, and the work that they keep putting in. And I hope that they stay locked in and they do what they're supposed to, and hopefully we keep rolling and we turn around and look up and we're playing December football, which is what we talk about as a program all the time.
Heck yeah. Sounds like he mentioned the word GoDaddies earlier. Sounds like he's got some GoDaddies over there. And speaking of GoDaddies, joining us as our athlete surprise pop-in guest tonight is quite a dynamic duo that he speaks of. QB1, RB1, quarterback Jakob Garcia, running back Gavin Black. What's up, guys? How are we?
We're doing good.
That's good, man. We're happy to have you guys. We've been, most of us, I'm rocking the Permian tonight for you guys too, by the way. We picked you guys pretty much all year long. We do a pick'ems here, but we got some questions for you guys, okay? And Jakob, I'm gonna start with you. What is it like leading this offense under Coach Smith?
It's great. It's an awesome experience that I've been blessed to have for the past 3 years now, starting as a sophomore. I just have a great group of guys that I'm able to go out to the field with every Friday. So it's just great.
That's awesome, man. Glad you guys are here.
Jakob, I got a question for you, man. So kind of walk. I know there's different things that you guys have to worry about pre-snap, things like that. Kind of walk us through your routine and kind of what you do once you guys break the huddle. I know sometimes you guys are in the huddle. Sometimes sometimes y'all slow it down. Sometimes y'all are going pretty fast.
Jacob, I got a good question for you, man. I got a good one. It just hit in my head. I didn't even think about it, man. I got a good one for you here in a little bit. All right, Sergio, I'm sorry.
You're good, man. So go ahead and walk us through your routine. When you guys break the huddle, what are you looking for from there?
So first step I always go through, I'm always looking if it's man or zone, looking at the shell, the safeties, how deep they are, looking at the corners. if they're head up or toe down, kind of tell me that. I think the next thing I'm looking for is blitz, seeing if people are showing or seeing if the defense is kind of rolling to what they were showing before pre-snap. That kind of lets me know which side of the field I'm going to look for, or if I'm going to be needing to look for my hots, or if it's RPO, if I'm going to be if it's probably going to be a pass, or if I'm probably going to hand it off, just those type of things.
Sound like a veteran, man.
That's impressive.
That's a
dude.
great response.
Yeah, so impressive.
For real. Guys, I'm so excited that y'all are here. We've been following you guys for the last few years. So to finally have you on is really a pleasure. I have a question for you guys. I'm the questions not directly about football. I want to know who is the biggest hype guy on offense before kickoff. Who is it?
I think it might be me. It definitely might be me.
Gavin, you're out there. You're out there. You're live out there.
Sometimes I growl. Sometimes it's bad.
Oh, let us hear it. Let us hear it, Gavin.
Nah, that's a Friday night type thing. You might catch me on a Friday night doing that. I say,
Dude said I might growl.
Yeah, that inner animal in him gets going, man. Yeah, I get it.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
You hear him growling on there, Jacob?
I hear him doing a lot of things out there.
Hey, Jacob, I got a question for you. I'm probably going to piss off Coach Smith. Coach Smith, I'm sorry, man, but I have to ask this. Jacob, I know you don't run cross country, or do you run cross the country? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I saw you run the coach, then go run the play, then run back to coach, then go run another play. I ain't never seen that in my entire coaching.
We can't get my guy a mic, coach. We can't get him.
I'm telling you, no one looked. Okay, you played fantastic. I love you guys. I saw you guys on Friday. Congratulations, you guys look fantastic. I'm excited to see you guys. For the rest of the season, everyone's talking about the game and mentally they played great too. But the thing that stuck in my head after the game was how the hell does Jakob Garcia have all that energy, and that sucker runs from the coach to the play about 60 times a game? Explain that, Jacob. How do you do that? I mean, because that's a feat. Not only do you throw good passes, that's after you run in 50 yards.
He's getting 10,000 steps every game.
More than 10,000.
Yeah. I rep that in practice. It's a big part of my routine.
What an answer.
He's got a wristband. He doesn't want to use it though. He just likes coming over to see Coach Ellison. That's his, that's his comfort zone over there.
Yeah.
I kept on thinking, surely he's going to get tired. Surely he's going to throw a bad ball at some point because, I mean, the guy is running a marathon here. And no, he just keeps on throwing dimes, man. Just keeps on throwing dimes.
Hey, Jacob. So how many times, because I know y'all's play calls have gotten a little wordy now. How many times have you called the wrong play or the wrong formation, or after it's translated from Coach Smith to Coach Ellison and the play clock is running, you got to hurry up and go call it out there in the huddle? How many times has that happened?
So I've never called, or like this season I haven't called a play wrong. I've actually fixed a couple plays that have got mixed up.
Gavin says cap. Gavin says cap. I think we should ask Gavin that. Gavin, what's something that you can share with us? Some crazy shenanigans that happened in the huddle.
There's a couple of times where he'll tell me one thing and I'm doing the one thing and then I get in trouble for it. It's like, it's funny.
That's awesome.
Hey, Jacob, so what motivates you the most when the game's on the line and it's all on your shoulders, man?
I'll probably just say I really try to do it for my teammates, because I grew up with a lot of these guys. I played with these guys for a long time, and they've stuck with me through the whole way. So I kind of feel like I just owe it to them to be the best version of myself no matter what situation I'm put in.
Awesome, man. That's awesome.
Coach had something to say. He hollered at the screen.
He was.
When he takes his back and he's not supposed to on 2nd and 1.
Coach, the guy just ran 50 yards to call.
He didn't even run 50 yards on that one. It was a wristband play.
So that poor guy just ran 50 yards back and forth, man. He's tired, man. Guy needs to relax a little bit, man. Hey, I got one more question. This is to Gavin. Now, Gavin, I asked Coach Smith earlier about the history of Odessa Permian, and how many of you guys are really aware of who you play for? What is playing for Odessa Permian? What does that mean for you?
It means a lot to me actually, because like being starred in a movie and a book and all of that, and then even getting the jersey number 18, like you just feel like you're that one, the number one when you come to wearing that jersey number 18. Yes, sir. It's a leader in some type of way.
That's right. Good.
I love that, man. We followed you guys your whole career, and it's really fitting that we're able to have you on tonight. Gavin, I'm curious, how do you have like a natural ability of vision and awareness? Is that something that's always come natural to you, or is that something you've had to work on? Because we've seen you make some incredible runs over the years.
There was a lot of like naturalness, but then once me and my dad started working on it, and then we started doing different type of drills, it was just different seeing from different perspectives. So it's been easier to read things now and where I'm looking now due to the work that me and my dad have put in.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, those are those mental reps we were talking about.
Yes, sir.
Gavin, so games on the line. You're about to get the ball. What's your favorite play call? Which one do you know? It's games on the line. Like we know we're going to get this thing, and I'm about to break the sucker, or I'm going to break the sucker of the house, whatever the case may be. What's your favorite play call?
Give me R21 or L20, and it's raps. I'm just gonna run through it. That's when I start growling. Growling comes out.
That's when the fangs come out. He turns into the Hulk. We're gonna have to get.
I just picture.
We got to get a shirt made,
actually.
man. Gavin's turning into the Hulk. We got to get a shirt made for these guys for sure.
Right.
Awesome.
So, kind of bouncing on that, what's in your AirPods before the game, each of you?
I really don't listen to nothing. You'd be surprised. I listen to a lot of George Strait and country music before the game just to soothe me and cool me down.
Yeah.
I get it. Animal, George Strait, they kind of go again. I like that.
Yeah.
I like it, Gavin.
It's like this internal battle he has going on.
I like
Jacob, what about you?
I listen to whatever's on the speaker. Honestly, I don't have anything particular that I go to.
Just whatever's jamming you're good with.
He's listening to those growls.
I kind of listen to them.
I think like these guys are such a good yin to the yang with each other a little bit, like they're such a good duo with each other because Gavin's got a little bit more energy and Jacob's just trying to deal with all the energy that's going on in the huddle. That's awesome, man. Hey,
Jacob got energy. I'm telling you right now, Jacob got energy.
Last week was awesome. Last week was awesome to see you guys win that. I always, and no knock on the kicker or anything, but I always find it kind of funny that like sometimes not everybody knows who's the kicker is until they win a game, but credit to you guys for keeping them in the game and giving you driving down and giving you guys a shot to win the game. That was amazing.
And he's tough too. That boy can kick.
He follows us on TikTok.
He can kick. He's tough.
Big time performance by you guys, man. That was awesome. I enjoyed watching you guys. I know Jacob, I texted you after the game. That was what I said. That's really how I felt. That was awesome.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Coach Franco.
Yeah, we're go ahead, Chavo.
I had one more question for Gavin. He mentioned his dad earlier, and I wanted to ask, so who's that one person in your life that inspires you, that keeps pushing you every day, man?
My dad is really the one person that inspires me. When it comes to this football stuff, I mean, he was great. And it's like the looks he's got, it's like I wanna beat my dad. And it's always been at that competition for my dad and my grandpa, because they've all got that. My grandpa's a state champion. That's the biggest thing I want to accomplish, just so I can say I'm up there with them. And then my dad getting looks from all types of colleges, and then all of that. It's just I just want to be like my dad at the end of the day, or better than him.
Yeah,
that's cool, man. That's right. What about you, Jacob? Who is the biggest inspiration in your life?
Yeah, I'm curious of that too.
I honestly couldn't pick out just one. I think really my whole family has always been a great influence in my life. growing up, each of them set their own examples for me and what they want me to be, and I've kind of been able to follow that all the way up to the point that I am. So I feel like it's not fair to just pinpoint one person for me. At least that's how I feel.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. It takes a village.
Yeah,
and you got a good one.
Man, these guys are impressive. It's like they got media training. I'm so impressed
yeah,
with both of you right now.
yeah. Like I think back to myself at 17 and 18, and I was an idiot compared to these guys, man. You guys are far beyond me for sure. But hey, Jacob and Gavin, man, we appreciate you both for spending some time with us tonight. You guys are the heartbeat of Mojo, and you've got a great squad, and we're praying for you to have a safe remainder of your season. We hope to see you getting into December and whipping some tail. And we keep leading, stay healthy, and keep giving Odessa Permian something to be proud about, man. We're proud of you guys. Keep going.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good luck the
All right.
rest of the way, fellas.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you, guys.
We appreciate you having us.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
ma'am.
Look
Yes,
for
sir.
us on
Thank y'all.
TikTok. We'll see.
Thank y'all.
We'll see y'all. See you guys.
Hey, Coach. So, what we talked about creating great young men, you got a couple of them right there, man. Y'all are doing
Absolutely.
awesome.
Thank you. You know, we really, take it for granted sometimes, the kids that we have. And those two, we get used to seeing them every day. And as coaches, you kind of get used to seeing those same kids over and over. And sometimes you see the flaws and you don't see the good. But it's really special listening to those guys because they've come a long way from their freshman year. And it's right there you see it, and it speaks volumes that where they are and how much they really do believe in the Permian, faithful and everything else. So it's really good, really cool as a coach to get to sit back and listen to that.
Yeah, I could tell the pride was just gleaming out of you for those guys whenever they were talking, and they're remarkable young men. I'm excited to continue watching those guys, and even after their high school career as well. But okay, does anybody else have any news? Is there anything else big that we need to announce at all?
Just them tuxedos, baby.
Yeah.
All right, Chavo, we got some good news going on.
Hey, so if you want to look sharp and give back at the same time, go to 33lead.com. There'll be a pop-up. If you miss the pop-up, there's a banner. Click on that. It'll take you to the website. Custom-made suits. You're gonna be the sharpest dressed man at your prom, at your next sports banquet, whatever. So helping us help you guys, go get you one of them custom suits made, man.
They are slick.
Smith, go get one, Coach Smith. Put that baby on, baby.
They have custom logos of all of the different schools in various ways, from the internal of the jacket to, everything, man. It is so cool. So that's something that we're happy to bring the Permian Basin now. And then maybe we'll see a few on January 18th at the 33 Lead Foundation banquet at the Bush Convention Center. So we're extremely happy about that. I do want to shout out one of our followers, a guy by the name of Michael Murphy. He has a son that plays for Greenwood. He follows us on all of our socials. He's very interactive with us. He's always on the pick'ems, tweeting or posting about what his picks are going to be every week. So shout out, man. We appreciate you uh, competing with us throughout the week and commenting on everything that we have going on. But also shout out to my wife's school, the TLA Titans. They went to the state cross country meet in Waco on Monday. Got to watch those kids compete. Young group, just getting started, but bright program. And I also got to go to the Texas Sports Hall of Fame and the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame. And if you guys have never been, go, because I could have slept there. There's so much there. It was amazing. One other note to shout out somebody from the Permian Basin. Huge shout out on a new school record. Actually, he broke his own school record. Christian, aka Sticks Bush of the Compass Cougars, kicked a 56-yard field goal, breaking his own school record, 56-yard bomb, and they handled Crane. And I think I picked them last week. I'm pretty sure that I picked them against everybody. But
I'm telling y'all, I know it.
And even though I did win on that pick, I didn't win the picks last week after 2 weeks with W's. Guys, help me congratulate Busta. She beat me. She beat everybody. She beat Coach Peters. She beat myself.
In y'all's face. And if y'all think you're not going to hear about it all week, you're wrong.
Hey,
That's
but
only-
it's not gonna last long because Chavo's back.
And with your fake microphone. And guess what, guys? I'm also second. I'm on a roll in fantasy too. Where are you at, Keith? In fantasy?
I got a dub.
Yeah,
I got a
but
dub this
you're
week.
you're not above me.
The season's
If you're
not over
first,
yet.
you're
all right?
last.
Coach, if you hadn't noticed, this is where the bragging rights live. We're going to dive into our games here.
Hey, before we dive into the pickups, all right, Coach Smith, I got one more question. I asked this for all the coaches. You've been in a few press boxes already this year and in the past. What's the best food? The best press box that has the best food?
Well, it surprisingly was not the Star. There was no food there.
No.
Ratliff, you get the dirty chili dog over there. Not great. Midland didn't have any. All they had was a hot dog and popcorn, so they're down the list. The best this year would have to be Shotwell and Amarillo. Dick Bivens. They kind of the same. Dick Bivens wasn't bad. They had pizza and Chick-fil-A, and Abilene's wasn't bad either. Had Fuddruckers up there, so it was good.
Hey, not bad.
What about El Paso? I know y'all probably haven't got out there yet, but that's been on the top of my list as a coach before. They have like enchiladas, they have homemade tortillas, they got burritos, all kinds of stuff.
They got two stadiums now, so I wonder if they can put it all at the new stadium. They put us in the old one, so it was not good at all.
Hey, so when I first started coaching in Pecos, we played Fabens, San Rosario, Mountain View, all those schools, but Fabens was the best. So the locker rooms were right by the cafeteria, and the cafeteria ladies, like you say, they cooked. It was homemade tortillas, asado, enchiladas. We pull up on the bus, and they cooked it just for the coaches, their coaches and us. Man, I look forward to going to Fabens every year, man. It was fantastic food. We get off the bus and go straight to the cafeteria. It was great.
Get me a burrito in you. That's hilarious.
Good stuff.
All right, guys. Coach is going to be nice and join us tonight, so y'all try to be nice to him, all right? This is where the rubber meets the road, all right? We got our game set coming up. All right, y'all ready? Sanderson is 1-5. They're headed to Grand Falls. Serge, who you taking in this one?
I'm going to go Grand Falls.
All right, Joe?
Grand Falls.
Coach Smith?
Grand Falls.
Yeah, Grand Falls did get a rude awakening last week against Balmaray, but I think they bounced back, and I think they handle Sanderson at home. Busta, who you taking?
Oh, Grand Falls.
Chavo?
So I think Grand Falls, their ground game might be the best kept secret in six-man football right now.
They're tough.
But Sanderson's tough, but they're going to be outgunned this game. I'm going Grand Falls.
All right, our second game, we're headed to Crane, the alma mater of Chavo. Chavo, I'll give you first bid on this game.
You know what it is.
Alpine's 2-6, by the way.
Spread far the fame of the Golden Cranes, baby. Crane's been a little streaky, but when their offense clicks, it really clicks. Alpine's, they might make it interesting early, but Crane's going to take it at the end of the day.
Shout out to Coach Birdwell. Busta, who you taking in this?
You know what? I'm going to agree with Chavo and go with Crane on this one as well.
Yeah. Alpine is a kind of a scrappy bunch, but I think they're outmatched. Crane's got too much speed, and I think they get a little bit more rhythm. They're going to move to 5-4. Coach Smith, who you taking?
Where's it played at? Are they at home?
They're going to Crane. El Ave, right?
Crane
El
at home.
Ave Stadium.
Yep.
Yeah, Crane's got it at home. Hard to play there.
Yep. Joe?
They got a great football stadium. I say that nice little football stadium. I love it. But correct me if I'm wrong. I'm getting Alzheimer's. But haven't they played each other already?
Yeah, is that
this district plays
district, right?
round robin? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they played
Okay,
twice.
that's what I was figuring. I was like, why do I feel like we're talking about them again?
Yeah, because Compass
good.
just beat Crane last week for the second time.
Okay,
They swept
good.
them in the
Well,
district.
I started thinking, man, I know my Alzheimer's really kicking in, man. But
I mean, it is, Joe. But I mean, you're right.
Definitely is.
Serge, who you got in this one?
Easy.
Shout out Coach Ontiveros. I'm gonna go with Crane on this
All
one.
right. Yep, that's unanimous, right?
Yeah.
All right. Our friends down the road, the Wink Wildcats are 6-2. They're headed to El Dorado, who's 5-3. Serge, I'll go back to you.
Um, I'm gonna go with the Fighting Gibsons. I'm just kidding. I love Coach Gibson. He's awesome. I'm going to go with Wink on this one.
All right. The black and orange get the nod. Big Joe, who you got?
Man, let me tell you something. Like I told you guys, there's going to be two teams that give us a ride this season. Um, but I will say this: Wink's going to win. But I'm going to say this: El Dorado they're tough, so
Yeah.
it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy for the Wink Wildcats, but they're going to get it done on Friday.
Coach Smith, who you thinking in this one?
Coach Gibson and Wink for sure.
Yeah, I agree with Joe that El Dorado is tough, but I think Wink is in rhythm, and they get to win number 7 this week. Busta?
I agree. I think Coach Gibson down in Wink is going to take the win this week.
Chavo? If you say
Yeah.
El Dorado, I'm fining you.
No, Wink's defense is underrated. They're physical, they're disciplined, and they're fast to the ball every time. El Dorado, they can air it out, but Wink's defense is just way too balanced. It's going to be Wink for sure.
Yeah. You know, they just had a quarterback that just stepped in like in week 3 or week 4 from an injury, and he's progressively gotten better. Garrett Boyles. All right, we're headed over to Big Thing or Big Spring. They're 4-3-1, bringing the Lakeview Chiefs in, who are 6-2. Chavo, I'll start with you.
Man, Big Spring's record doesn't show how scrappy they've been in some of these close games, man. But Lakeview's offense is too efficient to slow down. I think Lakeview keeps the momentum rolling.
Yeah, shout out to Coach Guevara over there at Lakeview. Busta, who you taking?
I'm going to agree with Chavo again.
Yeah,
Lakeview.
Big Spring is coming off a tough loss. They seem to have some penalties pile up to open the third quarter. I want to say 45 yards worth of penalties to open the third quarter, and kind of killed their momentum. Lakeview looked really strong against Pecos last week, and I'm gonna take the Chiefs. Coach Smith, who you got in this one?
Where are they playing at? That's a big question.
They're headed to Big Spring.
Big Spring.
You know what? I'm gonna take Big Spring at home, taking the Steers.
Coach is trying to win that chain.
Where is my chain, by the way?
I mean, I told you last weekend that you won, so you need to
like
talk to the
12 hours
dog.
ago.
It was either the dog or the guy sitting next to you that lost the actual chain. So, Joe, who are you taking in this? I don't have time to do with you, Busta.
I think this is going to be a barn burner. There's a lot of good football games going on this weekend. This is one of them. Man, I think you know what? I'm going to go with Coach Smith, and I'm going to get the Steers on this one. They're going to get a little upset. Yeah, I think Lakeview's a little better, but they're going to Big Springs. You never know, man. So let's let this baby roll. The Steers.
Has Joe ever won the chain?
For me?
I don't know. I think he tries
For
real
me?
hard.
Too emotional. He's just too emotional.
I won the first week. Just to remind you. Continue on.
I think that Alzheimer's kicking in.
We're also in our second season, but anyways,
it's whatever.
Serge, who are you taking, the Chiefs or the Steers?
Look, this is a little tough one. I'm a fan of Ken McWilliams and what they're doing over there. They're playing some good football. I know they hadn't they're not record wise, they're not really want to be, but Lakeview is very, very much improved. I love their offense, what they're doing. They're putting a lot of great numbers up offensively for the first time in a while. So pretty good quarterback over there. I know a couple of those receivers that come out here and catch with us. So I'm gonna roll with Lakeview on this one.
Yeah. I thought that their game against Pecos was going to be a lot closer than what it was, and it got away from the Eagles. I don't know, man. I feel good about Lakeview for some reason. All right. Grapevine Christian is 5-3 versus Jackson Franco and the Midland Christian Mustangs, who were 5-3. Serge, I'm gonna start with you.
I can't. I'm just gonna go Midland Christian on this one.
Yeah, for sure. I got you. Big Joe, what you think on this one? No hot take or nothing. You're not gonna put everybody on notice.
Nobody trusts you with your clips.
I've never heard of Grapevine Christian, so I'm going with Midland Christian.
Coach Smith, what you think
Midland
on this
Christian.
one?
I don't even know where Grapevine Christian is. I'm
Me
assuming
neither.
Grapevine, Texas.
So I'm so glad that you guys said that because I didn't even bother to look Grapevine Christian up because I'm not worried about him. Midland
No.
Christian all day. Shout out to Coach Dawson.
We
Busta,
are
who you
pulling
taking?
we are pulling for the Christians.
That's right.
I feel like we should pray real quick before we finish this pick. I'm also going with Jackson and Midland Christian. And not just because Sergio's here, because, I don't care about that.
True. Chavo, who you taking?
Man, this one's going to be a sneaky good game, man. Both teams mirror each other really well on the offense and opposing defense, right? But Midland Christian's defense at home gives them the edge. We got our boy Jackson in the backfield. I've been telling y'all about our boy Rowdy Pierce just breaking open those holes for those backs. Midland Christian's going to take it.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to try and be different.
Played pretty well defensively this year too, keeping him in some ball games to go and have some late game heroics. All right, we're headed to OHS. Central is 4-4, headed to meet the Broncos, who are 0-8. Chavo, I'll start with you.
Man, Central hasn't been very flashy this year, but an 0-8 OHS team, they just haven't had any consistency over there, unfortunately. So I'm going to go with the Bobcats. Expect them to get the win this week.
Yeah. Busta?
Yeah, I agree. I just don't think OHS is going to come out of their struggle.
Yeah, seems like they're still trying to find a spark, and Central's been in a lot of close games, it seems. They're kind of been like a 500 ball club, 50-50 type of team, but I think they get their fifth win here, Central by a couple. Coach Smith?
I have a lot of respect for both coaching staffs. I think they're really good. I think Coach Hartman at OHS is trying to find ways to win. Obviously, Coach Smith over at Central is doing a really good job of getting those guys to get over the hump. They got a win over Midland High last week on Saturday, which was huge. They have a lot playing for them, right? They win Friday night. Central clinches that last spot in district. Odessa High is going to fight for everything they got to try to get a win to go into the last week to try to, find a way to get in. I just think Central's got too much for them, especially their defense. Coach Martin over there is doing a great job, giving a bunch of different looks. I think he's going to confuse, obviously, Odessa High's quarterback and get a lot of pressure on them. But I'm going to go with Central.
All right, Central's getting the nod from Coach Smith. Big Joe, who you got?
Hey, I love OHS, man. I love Coach Hartman, the ASU legend, Angelo State legend. But we're going to go with San Angelo Central. They're just a better team this season.
Yeah. Serge?
Shout out Coach Hartman. In a tough spot, obviously I know he's doing what he's trying to do to get those guys going. I know those kids, just talking to him and being around those kids, they're going to work hard for you. But they're just struggling a little bit this year. But and I know San Angelo Central's been in a lot of close games. They could have. There's a lot of games they played in this year that they could have won. They could have gone both ways. So I feel like they're riding some momentum coming off that Midland High win. I'm gonna have to go with San Angelo Central.
Got you. Yeah. Coach Peters said something last week that sometimes winning and win-loss records don't always matter. A good coach is a good coach, and Coach Hartman is a good coach. It's just you're not going to win a state title every single year, So, but all right, we're headed over to another Mustang Bowl over in Andrews. Pecos is 3-5, visiting the Andrews Mustangs, who are 3-5. Who we start with? Chavo?
It's my
Did I
turn.
miss you?
Oh, Serge, go ahead, Serge. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Man, I think this will be a tough one. I think this could go either way. In normal years, this is kind of a no-brainer kind of a game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Pecos in this one. I think it'll be a close game. But I think Coach Pine, where's this game at, Keith? Is it in?
They're going to Andrews.
Right?
Yeah, they're going to Andrews.
Coach Pines wins a big one on the road. I'm gonna go with Pecos.
Tony P. Shout out to Tony P. Big Joe, what you got? Here comes a hard pick, Brenda. Here comes a hard pick, guaranteed.
This is a tough one. This is another game. This is another game
You're
in
not gonna
West
cry, are
Texas
you?
that's really good. Man, I think it's going to be a close game as well. But you know what? They're playing in Andrews, so give me the Andrews Mustangs.
Woo!
I think it'll be a close game, though. I
Joe's
think it's gonna be
losing followers right now. He's losing
It'll be-
He
followers
is.
right now.
He is.
it's going to be a fantastic
For
game.
the brand.
Coach Smith, who you taking, the Eagles or the Mustangs?
You know, Pecos has surprised me all year with how they're playing and everything. And every time I look up scores and hear it on the radio, it's like Pecos wins another one. It seems like them going to Andrews, obviously playing in the Mustang Bowl, another cool old stadium to play in.
Mhm.
You know, Andrews got their hands full. I'm gonna go with Pecos.
The Eagles are getting the nod. I agree with you guys, feeling like this game is going to be a coin flip. Both teams obviously want to run the ball. They grind the clock. Pecos did get beat up a little bit last week, and I think Andrews has a little bit more life in him going into this week. I'm taking Andrews in a thriller, maybe by a field goal. Busta, who you got?
Listen, I'm so overjoyed that some of you are jumping on my Pecos Eagles bandwagon. I will tell you, Joe is losing followers because I have actually gained a lot of the Pecos kids followers. Those are my people. And Coach, if you didn't hear, I have a lifetime pass to the press box in Pecos from Coach Peters.
Get over it. Make your pickles, Brenda. Damn.
You know, I'm sticking with my Eagles, guys. I don't have my hoodie on today, but I'm sticking with my Eagles.
Chavo?
Man, either one of these teams could easily be 5-3 right now if they had a few bounces go their way. So it's tough. It's going to be a gritty one. But I think Andrews, they're going to run that ball hard. So yeah, I got Andrews.
All right. Sounds good.
It'll be a fun
Excited for
game to
this
watch.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be a good
game.
one. They're gonna be knocking some heads off out there. All right, Monaghan's is 1-7 coming off of a bye week, headed to Fort Stockton to face the Panthers. Chavo?
Monaghan's.
Uh-huh. Coach, Chavo's wife is the head athletic trainer for Monaghan's. So if he doesn't pick Monaghan's, he's
He
grounded.
sleeps on the couch.
That's a heart
He's
pick.
in
We
trouble.
we have what's called hashtag heart picks out here, and he's making a business decision right now.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
in
No,
trouble.
this is a life-saving decision.
He's in trouble.
Busta, who
He
you
knows
got
it's
it?
probably not a good one. As much as Coach Style and those guys over in Monaghan's are doing, I really like what he does. But Fort Stockton, they're going to get the win.
Yeah. All right. So Chavo and Chavo's got Monaghan's. Coach Smith has Fort Stockton. Busta, who you taking?
So, Coach, I live in Monaghan, and I keep picking against Monaghan, so I've had to hire some security. And I'm just going to keep
Show us your
keeping them
security,
this
Brenda.
week. Huh?
Show us your security.
It's
Where's she
in the
at?
drawer, guys. It's in the drawer. But
Let's talk about your
yes.
dog.
Oh, that too. But yes, I'm going to go with Fort Stockton.
Big Joe?
This is gonna be a dandy. It's gonna be another good football game, man. It's gonna be close. Where are they playing at? Fort Stockton or
Fort
Monaghan?
Stockton.
Fort Stockton.
And
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something,
Joe's
man.
wearing blue, guys.
He is.
I'm wearing blue. I am wearing blue today, just on accident. But you know what? Because I'm wearing blue, I'm going for the Fort Stockton Panthers.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I
what
think
about
His
all the
shirt's blue,
jeans?
but his chonas are green. So.
I think Monaghan's needed the bye week.
They're black.
Go
Mojo, baby, go.
They needed to kind of maybe get back health wise and maybe a little mental focus, but it's been a tough year for those guys, and I think Fort Stockton is playing a little bit more clean than them. Panthers win. Serge, who you got?
Man,
Heart pick.
I'm gonna have to. It's gonna be a hard pick for sure. I'm gonna go with Monaghan's on this one after a bye week. I think they, take that rest week and get everything lined up and get that mental focus going again.
Haven't they been resting? Because
Brenda.
Oh man, oof. Ouch.
I think somehow Coach Style and the boys find a way to get it done on the road.
Yeah, it's
It's gonna it's
hostile
gonna be a close
territory over
game.
there.
I think it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna
Oh,
be
I
it'll
good.
be a
hope it
good
is.
game.
I hope it
I think
is.
so too.
Yeah. All right, we're headed up to Friendship with Tate Smith and the boys. Go watch them boys run that magic. Permian is 7-1, headed to face the 4-4 Friendship Tigers. Serge, I'll start with you.
Man, Friendship's a tough place to play. They play really well at home, and like I said, those guys do a great job up there. I know offensively they want to score. I think they're down a couple of players on offense. Coach Roboto, defensive guy, does a lot of different things on defense. Coach Smith will kind of tell you this as well. That he's going to give you a bunch of different looks to try to confuse you. I don't. They're not. I don't think they got enough bullets on offense to get the job done this year. Honestly, I'm going to go with Permian, and I think it could be at least a two touchdown game. Permian on top. So especially Permian coming off their big win and run the table and win the district championship.
Big Joe.
For all you Permian Panthers out there, just know, historically speaking, and Coach Smith knows this, and Coach Sergio knows this as well. Every time Permian Panthers travel to Friendship, it's not very good for the Panthers. They struggle over there. It's going to be tough. They're a better team. Odessa Permian's much better. I almost think opposite of Sergio. I hope not. Sometimes when you have a big win over your big rival, all that good stuff, kids have a tendency to think, oh man, this is great. Hopefully, and I know Coach Smith and them, I know that they're doing it right over there. And hopefully they get those guys prepared to forget what happened this last Friday and concentrate on the task at hand. Um, it's going to be close though. It's going to be tough because it's always tough over there. But go with the Odessa Permian Panthers, baby.
Yeah, for sure. Serge, you mentioned Roboto. He was actually the head coach at ENMU whenever I was there. And he does scheme up some pretty good stuff, and Friendship does have some good athletes over there, as well as a pretty talented receiving core. Coach, I'm going to ask you to go last on this to round this game out for us, if you don't mind, because I want to save the best for last in this. But y'all already know, man, I'm rocking the jersey. I've been ride or die with Permian all year. I'm not changing now. Mojo by 15, baby. Busta,
Oh, I think Gavin and Jacob are gonna continue to put up put on a show, and they're gonna take the win.
Chavo.
I want to talk about the emotional roller coaster that Joe just put us through real quick. But yeah, we talked about it this whole podcast. Mojo's peaking right now. They're gonna stay at the top. Friendship's offense can score, but Permian's defense is better. And then of course we have that Mojo offense that we talked about today during this whole show. I got Permian by 2 touchdowns too.
Coach Smith, how you feel on this game?
There's a couple things, and we've lost to Friendship the past 2 years, and I think that one, that helps our kids out because they're hungry, right, and they know what's the task in hand. You beat Friendship, you're at least have a share of the district championship. So our guys know that. The second thing is the last time we played up at Friendship in 22. It's been several years now because of the district realignment. But in 22, we went up there and we actually won on a last second touchdown to Jaquan Richardson in the corner of the end zone. It's always been a good game, like Coach Joe said, up at Friendship. It's a hard place to play. One, you got the wind blowing straight in on you always because that end zone's open over there. It's going to be cool, but it's going to be a good night of football. I think Coach Northcutt on the offensive side of the ball with their guys, they scheme you up. They do a really good job. Coach Roboto, like you said, does a really good job of throwing different schemes at you from when he first got there, doing the walk-around defense and then going to a 4-2-5 to now the 3-3 stack. But obviously, go Mojo. There it is.
There we go, baby. From the man himself.
For us.
Coach, we're praying for you to make all the right calls, too. We pray that you get that strength, that you go up there and you dial up everything perfect that night. Just know that we're backing you.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
All right. we got down to the last two games. Battle of the Tall City, right? Midland Lee is 3-5, coming off a tough loss to our guys, versus Midland High. They're 2-6. Chavo, who you taking in this?
This crosstown rivalry, it always is always good, right? Throw out the records though. This one's gonna be like a straight scrappy game. Midland Lee, it's gonna be gritty. It's gonna be a slugfest, but Midland Lee's taking it.
Busta, who you got in this one?
I wrote Midland Lee.
Got Lee. Yeah, it would be kind of kind of massive for Midland High to pull this off, I think, for their season, but I just don't think that they get it done. Give me the Rebels. Coach Smith, who you got in this one?
I respect both coaching staffs. I think Thad and those guys over at Miller High do a really good job. Stacy does a good job on defense with what he's doing. Coach Hartman and those guys over there do a great job. Obviously, you saw it firsthand last week. But I'm going to go with one of my college roommates and high school teammates, Mod Quigley and the Midland Lee Rebels Friday night.
All right. Lee's getting the nod from Coach Smith. Big Joe?
Yeah, I think Midland Lee's going to win. I think it's just going to be easy. I don't think Midland High, just not very good. I love Coach Fortune. They're fantastic. Got a great coaching staff over there. But, sometimes it's just not in the cards that year, and you got to just keep on working hard. I don't think they have enough to beat Midland Lee. So I'm going to go with Lee.
Got you. Serge, what's your take on it?
Kind of what everybody's kind of thinking right now. Like I said, obviously respect both guys. Worked with Fortune over at Permian. Obviously was on the Lee staff with Coach Hartman. Those guys do a great job. But like I said, I think Midland Lee's got a little bit too much right now. So shout out JP Reyes, quarterback. Their receiving core out there. They putting up some great numbers. I think they come out on top on this one. It'd be a little bit closer than what everybody thinks. I think it'll be a close game, but got Legacy on top.
Yeah. So we're gonna start our game of the week and pick your winner. And I always say the rules, and I always forget as soon as we get into it. But as a reminder, pick your winner and then give us a score that you think this is going to be. So our game of the week is Greenwood, who's 8-0, travels to the Wigwam to face Seminole, who's 6-2. And this is one that we've had circled since August. A Halloween weekend, two tough programs. Greenwood's undefeated. Seminoles, 2 losses are to great teams. Serge, what's your take on this one?
Man, this one could go either way. I think a couple of weeks ago, obviously Seminoles always been pretty good on offense, and here a couple of weeks ago, I think they had their quarterback get the Built for Tough Player of the Week. They're putting up some incredible numbers. Coach Pointer, those guys do a great job.
Yeah. Shout out to Dominic Higgins.
Greenwood obviously got a phenomenal defense, great offensively. I think I'm just going to go with my boy Lincoln Madrid, the driving his Lincoln. I think that Lincoln's going to drive over to Wigwam and get it done. So shout out to him. I know he wanted to be on this one, but he said he wanted to focus on the game this week. And shout out to him. I think his head's in the right place. So, but anyway, good luck to Lincoln and his boys this week. I'm going to go with the Seminole on this one.
Seminole, you're taking Seminole?
I'm sorry, Greenwood.
Oh, I was about to say, what an epic flip.
That's almost like the Joe.
Greenwood.
That was like Greenwood shades of Lee Corso, not so fast, my friend. Big Joe, who are you taking in this one?
Man, you guys know who I'm going to take, but I'm going to tell you, Seminoles tough. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Sergio didn't give the score. I think it's going to be 42-30. The Greenwood Rangers. It's going to be a high-scoring game. Lots of good offense. A lot of good football players on the field. But I think it's going to be a high score. But it's going to be the Greenwood Rangers.
Serge, what was your score on that?
I'm going to say 48-35.
48-35.
Wow.
All right, Coach Smith, what you think on this one?
Last year it wasn't a high-scoring game. I just looked it up. I had to do a little research real quick.
That man's Googling over there, Busta.
Last year. I know it was a different team, but I think Greenwood's got them. I don't think it's going to be as high scoring as you think. A lot of times those rival games, especially in small school, especially when I coached over at Greenwood, the games that we thought were going to be high scoring ended up being low scoring games. But I think that the Greenwood's got them, and I'm going to go 35-28.
35-28. All right. Yeah, I think the Rangers are just a little bit more polished than Seminole is. It's going to be a battle, I believe, for a little while at least. But I'm leaning towards that Columbia blue, not baby blue, Columbia blue. Give me Greenwood to stay perfect, and I think they put up 42-28, guys. I think they handle them. Busta?
Wow, those are some high scores. I agree with Coach. I don't think it's me as high. I do think Greenwood's going to win, but I think it's going to be 35-17.
All right, Chavo.
Greenwood's going to stay undefeated.
What's your score?
It's going to be 31-27.
Oh, a little closer. All right, Chavo, a little closer there.
Mo, matter of effort, baby. Matter of effort.
I love it. Coach is firing me up, boy. That's awesome. Well, Coach, we're in fourth down now. We've got some closing statements for you, but again, thank you for being on, and I'll turn it over to Busta.
Coach, I have really had fun this podcast. Thank you for bringing all of your insights and just your self-reflection, but also bringing us your boys that they were so impressive. So please tomorrow tell them that we were truly grateful for them coming.
Yes, ma'am. We appreciate you for having us. Thanks.
And good luck.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it.
Serge, you got anything for Coach?
Yeah, Coach. First off, just from an offensive standpoint, like I said, I've enjoyed watching you guys compete this year. I've enjoyed watching you guys evolve. Like I said, that's what, like I said, my question at the beginning was, the evolution of you guys, starting with the Veer and what you guys are doing now. I know you guys are still doing a little bit, but like I said, from a more spread out standpoint. So shout out to you and your staff, the kids that you guys got going. Good luck to you guys the rest of the week. And we will be rooting for you guys. Appreciate you guys for coming on.
Thanks, Coach.
Chavo?
Coach, you guys are building something special over there. I want to talk to Jakob and Gavin one more time, too. You guys are the heartbeat of that team right now. Keep leading by example and keep doing what you're doing. Go Mojo.
Heck yeah. Yeah, Coach, you and Jakob and Gavin, you guys are what West Texas football is built on, tradition, toughness, brotherhood, and Mojo's in great hands with you guys. Keep setting the tone every Friday night. Good luck, and we're praying for you guys.
Thank you.
All right, Joe, round us out for our fourth down.
I'm going to say it now. There is absolutely no place like Odessa Permian. None. And I don't care who you are. I don't care where you coached at. I don't give a damn how many state titles you won. There is absolutely no place like Odessa Permian, and that's the truth. And so I had a good time there. Coach Smith, I know you had a great time playing there. The traditions, the level of expectations is unmatched, and anybody who's a competitor would love to play and coach at Odessa Permian. I'm glad I was fortunate enough to do at least half of that. And so continued success for you guys. And as soon as your season's over, I'll take you out to lunch.
Come on, man.
All right.
Waiting on it.
Cool. Well, that's a wrap, guys, for episode 29 of the Permian Basin Playbook. Again, huge shout out to Coach Tate Smith and Jakob Garcia, Gavin Black for joining us and giving us an insider look at Mojo football. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Permian Basin Playbook, the 33 Lead Foundation. Follow us on TikTok, PB Playbook Podcast _33 Lead, and make sure and catch every episode on Spotify. Big shout out to our sponsors, Double T Services, Kodiak Gas Services, HZ Services, and Texas Farm Bureau. Remember, we've got the sports banquet coming. Get fitted for those suits on our website, 33lead.com. We'll be at the Bush Convention Center. Also, sponsorships and tables are open. If you'd like to donate to helping student athletes in the Permian Basin, log on to 33lead.com. Until then, I'm K-Ball. And then for my fellow members here, we appreciate you guys for listening to us. Coach, keep making Mojo strong. Keep that playbook open and running wild. West Texas is proud of you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure and play hard, lead strong. That's 33 Lead Way. Permian Basin Playbook signing off. Thank you guys.